I said, if you could just go back, if you could do it all over again.
Well, thank you for giving me the chance to talk to you, man to man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
You know what's dope, though? I wanted to talk to rappers for so long. And it's funny how God makes things work. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to talk to you. I've talked to Razkaz. I've talked to Bumpy Knuckles. Like, I'm just ecstatic that I'm given the opportunity to be able to just not only show appreciation, but to talk. You know what I'm saying? And get to get jewels from people I've listened to and now I can converse with. So before we finish that out, you want to drop any shout outs, social medias, anything? Feel free.
Man, you guys can all check me out. Please follow me on my Instagram. That's Do It All, just like it sounds. DOITALLDU at the end. So it's Do It All Do, DOITALLDU. That's Instagram, that's Twitter. And for the old heads, y'all can still hit me up on Facebook and Do It All Do Kelly. Do Pray Kelly. Do It All Do Pray Kelly on Facebook, man. Or Lords of the Underground. And check out, man, Lords of the Underground, new album, So Legendary. It's coming out very soon, man. Probably be out before mine. Shout out to the Snow Goon. Shout out to Mr. Funky Man, DJ Lord Jazz. My man Carlos at Latfro Entertainment. And shout out to M.O.P. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to EPMD, because we hitting the string of shows together on the road for the So Legendary tour, man. Thank you, man. We appreciate y'all. But I'm telling you, this Brenda Sun album,
classic,
produced by Andrew Clifton, I call him Dr. E.W., and my man Sean Bristol, I call him Twin because he got a twin brother. And man, we got the live band. Anytime I rock with this album, it's always live band. I'm only going out with the live band for this album because I want you to feel every part of it. You know, we just gonna have some fun, man. Shout out to my team, Jackie and Pop, and you know, just everybody. Shout out to Shock B, man, who did the video. Faith does all of the videos, man. We working, man. Shout out to Monaco, shout out to Dez, Fluffman Jones, everybody, man. La Rouge Lounge, Benedict, all my partners that work with us, man. And the Hip Hop Bishop, man, he keep me prayed up, man. Shout out to Bishop Purnell, man. I'm telling you, man, that's the Bishop of Hip Hop right there. And shout out to my other partner in business, man. One of my new partners, man, Mr. Dame Dash, man, for real. Make sure y'all get a subscription to Dame Dash Studios, man. Download the app, go to dame-studios.com, man, and check out all of the content that we're gonna be giving you. You never know, you might see Heritage of Hip Hop on there.
I want to interview Dame Dash, to be real with you.
Word.
That's one of my heroes in hip hop, actually.
Salute to Dame.
I love to interview him. So let's have some fun. I usually ask rapid fire questions, but because you are established in the game, that's kind of a mute point because you probably already collab with people and had your dream track and all that. So I'll change the questions for you a little bit.
Okay.
Here's the first question I want to ask you. Lords of the Underground is the culmination of 3 young men who, 2 from the same city and 1 from another part of the city, that came together in an educational institution.
Right.
With college coming under scrutiny for not being free and being free, and we came up in a different world era, how do you see college being projected as important to this generation where they see social media as college and school as not learning?
I think education is more important than anything, right? But not in your typical sense, as you just say that. I think, you know, information should be more important than tuition. You know, I think that, you know, it's a fine line to walk because you don't want to say, don't get a higher education. Mm-hmm. You don't want to say that, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to say that, but I will say this. If you see somebody, a child, who has an interest in something at a reasonable age, or you can kind of get the gist of who they are becoming and what they like, or and grow them into, you know, because you're the parent, you're the guardian, you're directing them into what they like, need, or whatever in their life. Or if you do that, and you got, what is it, $100,000 for great schools each year? That's $400,000 at a great school. Mm-hmm. If you take $50,000, invest in something that your child like, that 50 might make them a millionaire or multi-millionaire by the time they're 18 years old. Multi-millionaire. But if you wait till they're 18 and now you try to get these loans and these applications to put them through a system that's over hundreds and hundreds of years old, and you already know the template of the system, then you're really playing a lottery. Not saying that things won't happen, but just look at percentages. If you do it this way, the percentage is higher than doing it this way. So my question is, why does everybody continue to do it this way? Why? Because society tells you that we need certificates, diplomas, and appreciation slips, pieces of paper, to say that you are eligible and you are qualified to do these certain things in life. Right? But if you know that you have put in the work, you have practiced, you have educated yourself, you have prepared yourself, do you need a piece of paper to tell you that you are a boss? And that's what we have to start thinking. We have to start believing and thinking in ownership. Because you don't care about the ownership's credit. You don't care about what the ownership, all you care about is that they are the owners of this. You don't care where that owner went to school, for the most part. You're not asking these questions, I'm saying. Let a lecturer come there and want to give you some information. What school did he go to? What is her degree from? But the owner of that facility, of that venue, might not have ever went to school. So we need to start teaching civics, teaching ownership, teaching quality of life a little more. And if we're going to pay for, now if we're going to charge to pay for those things, then maybe we will truly be educating people how to really live life.
Facts. That's a deep one. So then, let's flip it back a little bit. Because of course we're talking about hip hop, right?
Of course.
You have a solo album.
Yeah.
And it's a great album.
Appreciate it.
And the one thing that people define you as is a passionate MC.
Right.
Some are grafted on their bars. Some are grafted on delivery. You were grafted, as I heard from many people before I did this interview, as a passionate MC.
I can go with that, definitely.
How do you hone in your passion to deliver your message rather than be passionate and just spit for the reason of spitting?
You know, for me, like, I guess I'm so passionate because Jersey, we always been about our lyrics in Jersey. Now, some people have been, how do you punch lines in the bars? Being about, I'm a Jersey artist, so I am about my lyrics, but I'm about whatever I say, knowing the meaning of the words, knowing the definition of the phrases, of the statements. I want to speak the truth into light. You know what I mean? So if I say it, I don't want you to be able to say, well, what you mean by that? Or, huh? And me not being able to explain it. So usually I take that, I'm an actor too. You know what I mean? So I take the techniques of an actor, you know, it's clamping. What I got from Public Enemy and Busta Rhymes. Concept, lyrics, attitude, music equals your P. Clamp, you know? So if you have a concept, make sure that you never sway from your concept. You start with a concept. Make sure that your lyrics always match the concept. Never sway away from the concept. Take the A out of clamp. That's the attitude. Make sure that your attitude expresses the lyrics. That's why I be trying to paint a picture. Especially the younger me, I was all over the place, like, you know what I mean? But I was trying to show you, like, if I said spit, that's why I love when Das Effects say, ha, cool, spit. Like, you felt like, you know what I mean? Whoa, while you listening to it, it's audio, you know what I mean? And that's how I like MCs, when you see Busta, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he was physically explaining and expressing those lyrics. And that's how passionate I am. And I want you to understand what I meant. I feel like my lyrics go so far over people's heads, and I say that as an elder MC because MCs from 20 years ago, like, yo, bro, you know, I was just listening to such and such just the other day, and I finally got when you said, that's because they're older and they think differently now. You know, it's many things. I sit with the engineer and I'll just laugh to myself. And he be like, what's up? I'm like, man, nobody gonna get this line until 5 years from now. You know, because people don't look at me like that. They don't look at me as the MC, the drop. You know, they just look at me as passionate MC. But when they hear that passion years later, they're like, wait a minute. When they get the understanding of certain things and they read a little more, or see, my experience have taken, you know, hip hop has always taught me to talk about how you live the culture of hip hop. That's how I was taught as an MC. You narrated the culture of hip hop, how you lived it, or your mans and them, your team, your cipher around you lived it. That's how the sections of certain communities was told, because the cliques was telling you how they were living the hip hop culture. So that's how I was taught. So now me being in politics, now me being in the community more, so it changed my language, but it didn't change my hip hop.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy, because now, even some of the stuff I talk about now sounds mafiosos, because politics maybe come across as mafiosos sometimes.
Yeah, I feel you. So then, I'm gonna flip it again, because that was a great answer. Because if we talk about young you, and the you that evolved but still is young you.
Yeah.
So my question to you is this then. The brain takes in hip hop 4 different ways. You have olfactory hip hop, which is the smell of the hip hop.
Right.
You have the kinetic energy, the kinesthetic, which is the tactile, the hands-on learning and everything, right? You with the movement and touching. You have auditory, which is straight up hearing it, right? 3 different ways: olfactory, kinesthetic. You got tactile, you got the auditory, etc. As an MC, how do you attack the brain for people to understand your lyrics and to feel your understanding? How do they hear you, and what do you think you attack them the most?
Well, it's broken down in the same way for me. You know, everybody gets into their zone their own kind of way, and that's the auditory way. You know, like when they see, I don't know what creativity is, right? I can just tell you what it is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because for me to tell you what creativity is, who am I to say if something that's never been invented? You know what I mean? So I can't tell you how to make the next thing that's going to be the great thing. Or I would make it tonight after y'all leave. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you what creativity is. I can just tell you what it is not. And I can only tell you what it is not from me making mistakes thinking that it was what it was. You see what I'm saying? So I touch it from so many different ways. After, you know, in the creativity is like, has a time limit to it.
So that's a fact.
It has a time limit to it. It's like playtime. It's like work time. It's creative time. You ever, you know, it's a certain energy that comes with creativity that we can't describe. You ever get into a mode and you create and then boom, you get a block. You're like, man, you go, man, I just, and then, oh, that's because you moved out of that space. You changed the energy. You know what I mean? You've changed the energy. So now you've changed the creative. I don't know, whatever creativity is, you've changed the parameters of it by moving. You moved into another space. So that tells me that creativity does have something to do with space, you know, because location, you know, the things that you hear, touch, see, taste, feel, all of those play a part in what creativity is. So all of those things that you talked about, which part do you start with? Who knows? Sometimes you can start with a touch. You can be with a beautiful woman and be holding her hand, and now you always just walking down a boardwalk or somewhere in the Caribbean, and now you want to make a song about walking on the beach with a dime piece. You know what I mean? You can be in a new whip with your mans, but 2 years ago you was in a hoopty with them going down to I don't know, wherever, to the cave. You know what I mean? Like 2 years ago, but now you in a Bentley with them. You probably gonna look around, look at them, and y'all probably gonna smile to each other knowing what it is. You know what I mean? And that might create, like, 2 years ago we was now we pushing that. So creativity, I can't tell you what it is, because it is what it is to those who are the creators. You know what I mean? I can just tell you what it's not. You know, I believe that creativity happens with the open mind. You hear a lot of young artists or artists period say, yo, we out here working. We in the studio working. I don't really believe that, because I believe work can only happen in a closed mind state. Now hear me out. Like open space is playtime. Nothing is wrong. I can throw purple paint against yellow paint and create the Lakers. I can throw, you know what I mean? I can whatever. There's nothing wrong. Once I say it's done, that's my creation. But if I say no, that purple don't match that. But if I say it's done, then that's my creation. But it's not that until I say that it is that.
Okay.
You know? But at the same time, it's like I can, in workspace, you can't create while you're working. After you create the thing, now you gotta work it. You gotta push it. You gotta present it. You gotta package it. You gotta label it. You gotta get it out there. You gotta show it. That's the work. So how are we now people who do those work have to find creative ways for themselves to push that work. That's why you got publicists. That's why you got marketing people. Now they have to be creators in their platform to make your creation work. So working only happens in the closed mind state, and creativity happens in an open mind state. So I think that while I'm creating, I touch all of those things at different times. It might be a woman that sparks something. It might be a family situation that sparks something. It might be you guys doing this that sparks something through a question. So creativity can happen at any time, man, that you feel that wave, that spark, and it could be by touch, taste, sight, or smell.